Game 2 is set to rumble at the home of the Saints, and peace will not reign as Venezuela and the Tall Blacks face off live on Sky Sport.
A wonderful wintry summer Sunday afternoon in the winter of Wellington, and I can tell you what, it is extremely cold. A southerly blast has come off the Cook Strait, and the Venezuelans and the Tall Blacks here at the TSB Arena are feeling it. Welcome to Wellington for Game 2 of the Tall Blacks against Venezuela, both of them on their path to Olympic glory and qualifying for Beijing in 2008. Yes, the TSB Arena, a lot warmer than it is outside. As when you're walking down the Featherstone Street to the arena, you can certainly feel the bite, but there was plenty of that in Napier on Friday night. Stephen Mackay with the rock, Kenny Stone in for this one, Game 2. How much of a bite was there in Napier on Friday? It was animal-like.
It was a very physical game, and at times bordering on dirty. Both teams came out really physical, the Tall Blacks, but certainly Venezuela, and again, at times were a bit dirty, but I don't expect quite as much biff and rough and tumble, but I do expect them both to be physical again.
Well, what is extremely entertaining, but the key now for both sides, they've seen each other once. What adjustments do they need to make?
Well, I think for Venezuela, they've got to execute better. They did a poor job of any execution offensively. The Tall Blacks, on the other hand, they want to continue to work. They want to run the ball better. Defensively, a bit more pressure. Offensively, continue to read what the defense gives them. A lot of their offenses are based around reading what the defense gives them. So those will be adjustments that Nenet's team will continue to work on.
Okay, if you missed Game 1, sit back and enjoy this one. Tall Blacks, Venezuela, Napier, Friday night.
Paulie Henare catapulted into the starting role. BC for three, bang! Cairo Cameron lights it up from downtown. Dylan Butcher in the corner to Rampton for three. Why not? Bayona, the big unit, Herbert Bayona. He will spin off the glass and he will get Venezuela's first 2 points. Carpetti in the lane gets 2! Paulie to inbound, 19 on the shot clock. Kirk 30 open for three. Bang! Carpetti gets another. Petty no good. Bayona with the rebound. Stolen by PC. Oh, what a steal! And that's beautiful. Unadulterated Tall Blacks basketball. Away comes Romero. He's going to find David Kubian. Puts it up for three. And that will sink for David Kubian. In it goes to Boucher. Up to Bakona. Bang! Mika Bakona for three! Bakona! Phil Jones puts it up for three. Bang! Phil Jones, welcome back, baby! Herbert Bayona working on Casey Frank. Back out to Barrios for three. And that's good. Norianga in the corner. It goes, and yes! PC with a bullet pass! Oh, baby! And it's a Red Rocket affair with Pablo Initana setting one down! Carpetti stops, pops, and drops! Dylan Boucher now. Boucher creating some room. Mike Fitchin for three! Bang! Michael Fitchin, you are on the score sheet for the Tall Blacks! He'll stop, he'll pop, and he'll drop another one! Del Stato with a crazy shot. Now, holy moly, it goes in! Casey Frank behind the back to PC! That's unbelievable! Hector Romero spins, nice pumping shot. Mika Bakona was, holy moly! And it's not looking good right now. That's gonna be short. Who's there? Cartwright for the rebound. Cartwright puts it back up and in. Into Bayona, he'll get 2 more. As, Dylan Boucher goes down holding his ankle. This is what we did not want to see. With 3 minutes and 24 seconds left to go in the competition. He'll stop and he'll just put up a 3 ball. That's off the side. Casey Frank with another offensive rebound. He'll put it up again because I didn't get it right the first time. So I'll get it right the second time. Why not? 99.
Tall Black domination in game one. Yeah, that was the sad side. Dylan Boucher going down. MRI scans tomorrow for Dylan on that ankle. He will hopefully talk to us at half-time about what he expects and will he make the China series. Take Dylan out. Who do you replace him? And also Paula Winitana doesn't play on a Sunday because of religious reasons.
Yeah, it certainly hurts him in that small forward area, and I expect, as you see Porras sitting out, I expect Mika Vakona probably to step into that starting lineup, though we haven't got it confirmed. And you talk about Craig Bradshaw as well, another player just arrived this morning. This is his first time in the Tall Black singlet this year. Probably won't expect to see him get any game time, but get him ready for Tuesday's game.
Yeah, but I just wonder, he's warming up. I wonder whether the bite to get back in and with the singlets on, he might just get a little bit of game time.
Well, I'm sure the itch is there to get back in and be a part of the team, but it's tough when you're coming off of the plane, you don't know any of the plays, and then it's put in a whole new system, so there's a lot of adjustment there for him.
I know Dylan is extremely disappointed about it, and he's not upset, he's just disappointed because he wants to be back out there with the Tall Blacks. You'd probably rest him for the China series and hope he's ready for the Boomers.
Well, I think a lot of it depends on what the extent of that damage is, whether it's ligament damage, whether it's just a bad sprain, and we'll know more on Monday about that.
All right, one man that did have a whale of a game on Friday night in Napier. Led all scorers with 24 points was Kirk Penny.
It was a good start, a good game. Glad to be able to knock some shots down. And all of us actually were able to knock shots down. It seemed like every time a guy came in the game, he hit a three, just to get the confidence going, get the team in the right direction. So it was a good start for us.
Physical game, is it something you will try and tone down for this afternoon's match?
I don't know if we have a whole lot of control of the physical nature of the game, because it's on them. They're passionate, they're bringing it, and I think we're just trying to match them and keep that intensity level and not back down at all.
So what's the plan for this afternoon's match? Where do you step it up and how do you try and keep them in their place, so to speak?
Well, we have to focus on ourselves first and foremost, making sure we execute our plays, and it's some different sets from the last game, so it's going to be a completely different way to execute and different offences. So that's on us to do that. And we have a better idea of what they run now. So we have our defences ready, just having to recognise them as early as possible so we can implement our D.
Both sides want to run and gun this afternoon in Wellington. Let's meet the Tall Blacks for 07.
Hi, my name's Dylan Boucher. I'm a small forward and I debuted for the Tall Blacks in 1999.
Daryl Cartwright, position forward, debuted 2002.
I'm Michael Fitchin, I'm a point guard, and this is my debut series for the Tall Blacks.
Hi, Corey Cameron, power forward, debuted 94.
Paul Hinardi, point guard, debuted in 1998.
My name is Kirk Penny. I'm a guard, and I debuted for Tall Blacks in 1999.
Casey Frank, I'm a power forward, and my debut for the Tall Blacks was 2005.
My name's Phil Jones, shooting guard, debuted in 1994 for the Tall Blacks.
Tony Rampton, position centre, debuted 1999.
Lindsay Tate, point guard. I debuted in 2003.
Mika Vakona, small forward, debuted in 2005.
My name's Paula Winitana. I'm a shooting guard and swingman for the Tall Blacks, and I debuted in 2002.
Yes, we'll know Paula Winitana this afternoon. Interesting thing, watching practice yesterday for the Tall Blacks and the plays they were running through the Venezuelan plays.
Well, that's the big thing about any series. You've got to make adjustments between games. The Tall Blacks, we saw them in practice going through Venezuela's plays. Now I'm sure Venezuela knows what the Tall Blacks expect to run, and we'll see who makes those adjustments.
All right, let's now go courtside. Time to get the starting fives. Tall Blacks, Venezuela.
Number 14, point guard, is Rios Vasquez. Number 15, ex-center, Eric Bayona. Strong forward, in trouble, Hector Romero. The starting five for Venezuela. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the home team. Your starting five for the United States.
Here is number 6, also playing a guard, Kirk Penny. Welcome forward, number 12, Casey Frank. number 14, and the captain, Pero Cameron, ladies and gentlemen. There they are, the Dominion Finance Tall Blacks. We want you to make your support known for the home team tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big game, a test. I'll introduce you also to the match officials for the series. Please give a round of applause for Andy Thackeray, Dallas Pickering, and Tim Brown, your match officials tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthem of Venezuela. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now to sing the New Zealand national anthem, please welcome our very own Damien Echinaccio.
E hoa atua o ngai wi matora ata whakaroa me aroa ki ahu wa ko te pai ki atau to atawhai mana ki ti amai au te aroa God of nations at thy feet in the bonds of love we meet. Hear our voices, we entreat. God defend our free land. God Pacific's triple star from the shafts of strife and war. Make her praises heard afar. God defend New Zealand.
begins. Lieutenant Dan Hennessy alongside Kenny Stone here for Game 2 of the Tall Blacks versus Venezuela. Now, Kenny, we're expecting a fight, but who knows? Maybe a basketball game just might break out.
Oh, we're certainly hoping for this time. Yeah, what we saw up in Napier was a real battle royal. Both teams really going at it physically, and as I said earlier, almost bordering on dirty play at times. But I expect both teams a bit more open play, wanting to get up and down the floor a bit more. So we'll see which role these teams are going to play.
Well, they're a volatile bunch, a very emotional bunch are these Venezuelans. Passionate South American team. What they want to control are the offensive rebounds and the rebounds in general, as they basically tower over the Tall Blacks. They've got 8 players well over 2 meters tall. And, well, the Tall Blacks have just been boxing them out and doing fantastically on the boards. Hence the 26-point shellacking a couple nights ago.
Yeah, the Tall Blacks did a nice job on the boards, as you said, only giving up 8 offensive rebounds. Did a nice job against that bigger Venezuelan team. It certainly looked for them to continue to try to dominate that. Venezuela wants to get up and down the floor a bit more than they did. In order to do that, they've got to play strong defense and really rebound hard and then look to push the ball. On the other hand, that's what the Tall Blacks want to do as well. Control the boards, strong defense, and get their running game going. You see some changes in that starting lineup from what we saw on Friday night with Lindsay Tate running the point. Mika Vicona in for the injured Dylan Boucher. So with Lindsay at the point, you expect to see the ball pushed up the floor.
But geez, if you look over at the Tall Blacks bench, what a plethora of talent they have to take off of that bench. And well, if the fouls mount up like they did last game, they're going to have to use every last player, possibly including Craig Bradshaw, who just flew in this morning. It would be great to have him and get a run in front of his home crowd. Casey Frank, PC, Mika Vicona, Kirk Penny, and Lindsay. Here we go, Tall Blacks basketball. Test 2 is right here, right now. Your officials for tonight's game, Andy Thackeray, Dallas Pickering, and Tim Brown. As we are expecting a very volatile collision of styles of basketball. Lindsay Tate with the first go. First shot across the bow for the Tall Blacks. He is covered by Grievous Vasquez. PC with the ball now. Looking for Mika Vicona. He will get the ball back. Get it to Casey, to Mika. Yes! 2 points! What passing on that play by the Tall Blacks. Grievous Vasquez now has it for Venezuela. Top of the key, inside to Herbert Bayona. Bayona, they wanted to travel, they didn't get it. Barrios with it now. Alejandro Barrios. Vargas. Vasquez into Bayona. Bayona with no place to go because he ran into PC! And he'll steal the ball as well. He'll bring it up. Pedro Cameron left all alone. You gotta be kidding me! Bang! You don't want to do that, Venezuela.
Well, that's an area that Venezuela talked to at halftime of the last game, wanting to use their quickness getting out on 3-point shooters. That time, no one even recognized that Pedro Cameron bringing the ball down. They're certainly aware that he can knock down the 3-point shot. That time just left him alone. That's a gimme for Perro.
Left them all alone. Well, and let's not forget we had a curtain raiser today. St. Pat's College versus Wellington College. St. Pat's took it out 72-62. Their undefeated season continues. Good on them. That was a very entertaining game.
I think right now they're questioning whether it's a 2 or a 3-point shot. The scoreboard's showing 2.
I believe it was a 3, but we'll see if we can have a look at it here. There's PC. Well,
unless his toes were on that line, it's hard to tell.
Hard to tell from that angle. I'm going to say a 3, Kenny.
I'm going to agree with you on that one. Though we are making the official call.
I don't know. Only thing is it's a disadvantage to one team, isn't it? Yeah. Well, it is this half, and then of course it turns around in the second half.
Well, as they figure it out here, we look around the TSB Bank Arena on Pat's house once again. They are coming out for their hoops. scoreboard.
Come back in.
Dallas Pickering taking control of the situation here early.
Disadvantage for one team and not for the other.
Well, could if we played the whole game like
Yeah, but we don't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm listening in, somebody stepped on a cord somewhere, but I'm not sure what the effect of it is.
Well, we're going to have a little bit of a warm-up here as the Tall Blacks want to stay loose. Venezuela's still talking things over with their coach. And as we said last game, they're a very young team, are these Venezuelans. Average age, 24 years, 8 months old. Their oldest player, Axier Sucre, is only 29. And it looks like the shot clock might be out on this end over here.
So that's the shot clock there above Venezuela's basket. Obviously, somebody stepped on something, unplugged it.
It's not like the Tall Blacks are actually going to use the shot clock, Kenny. They just come down and drain them. That's all they've been doing. But let's not forget, first quarter of last game, 3 24-second violations called on the Venezuelans. Fantastic defense. And I said this before, I think the defense with the Tall Blacks is head and antlers above.
Yeah, the offensive execution, especially early on from the Tall Blacks, was very good. Venezuela, I don't think, really knew what to expect offensively from the Tall Blacks, and we saw them drain their first 3 shots. That was interesting at Tall Black practice yesterday, watching them go through the Venezuelan plays, and obviously going into a series blind, which both teams really were. It's learning what you can from that first game, sitting down watching the video, scouting what the other team's trying to do. And both teams would agree Venezuela didn't execute their offense well, so there wasn't really a lot to go on for the Tall Blacks, but they found enough in the video to walk through some plays and how they want to defend it. We'll see how effective the Venezuelans can be tonight.
Right, the Venezuelans basically have to stem the flow of rebounds from the Tall Blacks, both offensively and defensively. And also at that close practice yesterday, Dylan Boucher getting his ankle done. It still doesn't look all that great, does it?
No, but I think Steven caught up with Nenad Vucinic before the game. And here's Steven with Nenad.
Well, definitely satisfied with beating Venezuela by 26 points. I mean, they're a good team. They didn't play well. They came probably more to fight than anything, and I'm sure they will come much better prepared for this game today.
What have you worked on for this afternoon's match?
Well, there is a few areas that we sort of addressed. That's our toughness inside. I thought we were a little bit too soft, and that's not only the big guys, also the guards, you know, on their posting up. They're a physical team. They tried to push us inside, and we're going to try to make it a little bit more difficult for them this time.
And just looking down the track, you'd want them to be tougher for you this afternoon?
Absolutely. I mean, we're preparing for Australia, and we want tough opposition. We want tough games. We don't want easy wins, and that's what we expect in those last 2 games against Venezuela.
I'll tell you that Coach Vucinic, he is cooler than the other side of the pillow all the time, Kenny.
Yeah, but he made some good points. In that first game, one of the areas that hurt the Tall Blacks was getting it into the likes of Bayona or Romero down in that low post and going to work offensively. They changed it up a bit the second half where the Tall Blacks doubled down. But Venezuela did a pretty good job passing out of those double teams. So we'll see again if the Tall Blacks continue to double down on those big men.
And while we have a second here, I would like to personally thank Stephen McIver for organizing my 5 o'clock wake-up call with reception at the hotel today. Thank you very much, Stephen. I hope you grow eyes in the back of your head, my good man. There, I said it. Well, they're still working on the shot clock here. And number 6, Carlos Cedeno, one of the more chippier players for Venezuela, will not be suiting up today in the number 6 jersey. We will have Kevin Palacios instead. And, well, I talked to the Venezuelans last night at dinner after the game, and I said a few points of interest. There he is on screen now, having a rest. A few points of interest the Venezuelans might want to check out while they're in New Zealand. Of course, Courtney Place, the Wellington Harbor, and the tips of Pedro Cameron's elbows. Lovely points of interest they must check out.
Yeah, well, we had a chance to catch up with Carlos Cedeno and get his thoughts.
It was a good game. The thing, it was
physical game. I mean, we were expecting a physical game, and just a little bit rough for us. It's our first game playing together. There's new faces in the team, and we're just trying to adjust, trying to get to know ourselves in the court, just doing a lot of things for the first time. So we're kind of adjusting to play better as a team next time and just go from there.
Around it goes. Stop and pop for Urbina. Nice from Jesus Urbina.
We're just going to try to get the ball and try to run the floor. When we run the floor, it was very effective for us, and we're just going to try to do a little bit more of that.
How are you finding this cold weather?
Oh man, it's a killer, especially the rain. And it's tough, but especially in the gyms, it's cold too, and we're not used to it, but it's just part of where we are, and we have to deal with it and just go out and play basketball.
Now there's the coach, Nestor Salazar, a very animated coach, pretty mellow at the moment, but I'm sure as the competition goes on, you will see his emotion. As we started the first game, he almost ran directly out of the building, Kenny.
Yeah, a very animated coach, and certainly fun to watch. Wasn't happy with the officials in that first game, but and he certainly let everyone know about it. He wasn't happy with his team at times, and he let them know about it. But again, he has the challenge of molding these young guys into a team that's going to compete in the Tournament of Americas. It's a challenge for the Olympic berth. That happens in August as well. So he's got some challenges ahead of him.
All right, well, let's check out the Tall Blacks' aspirations for the series. And we'll kick things off with Mr. Paulie Henare.
For me personally, in this series, I'm just looking to do what I can to help lead the team. It's obviously the start of a long campaign. We're looking forward to Australia. So this is the start of our building block heading up to that series.
As far as the team focusing on, for the Australian series, and this part of the build-up, we've been trying to get our fitness up, and we've been trying to work in some new systems that Nenad's implemented into the team. So the Venezuelan games will be a great test of that to see where we're at, and hopefully we can improve on it.
Make a nice bounce pass to Phil Jones. Phil Jones puts it up for three. Bang! Phil Jones, welcome back, baby! BC for three. Bang! Tyrell Cameron lights it up from downtown.
That's a building block into our campaign to qualify for Beijing, and we want to set a very high standard from the start and go from there up.
Kurteni stops, pops, and drops! 19 on the shot clock. Kurteni open for three. Bang! Kurteni gets another.
In the series, it's important that we show what we've been learning and developing over the last 3 weeks. We really have worked hard, and we have a new system, some new sets, and we push the ball a lot more. And it's an opportunity for us to come out and play against a different team, not the same guys every day in practice, and playing the way we know we want to play.
Casey Frank, this runway is open. Buenos noches, Venezuela.
It's always important to go out and win, especially when you're representing your country. But our end goal, our ultimate goal is to beat Australia, and this is just the first step in what's going to be many steps on towards that process.
Well, the Tall Blacks are organizing themselves. The 24-second shot clock has been fixed. Thanks to that man right there, the only guy in the building who possibly could change that light bulb, Kenny.
Well, he finally got it done, so we'll get underway here. It looks like that shot by Tyrell Cameron stays as a two-pointer.
Now, starting for the Venezuelans, we've got number 13, Alejandro Barrios, Grievous Vasquez, of course, Hector Romero, their gun, Herbert Bayona, the big man, and number 11, Jose Vargas. Here we go. Alejandro Barrios with it now. Kicking around the corner, in it goes. Vargas. Into Hector Romero, off the glass, no good. Tyrell Cameron with the rebound. Here come the Tall Blacks. Lindsey Tate stops and pops a mid-ranger. Bang, he's gonna nail that one, no problem.
Well, this is a building Lindsey loves to play, and he's had some really big games as a Stars player here. He loves the shooter in this gym.
Grievous Vasquez going right at them. But Mika will be called with a travel. As he was in great position once again for another rebound as Mika Vacona, as he always is. Got a fresh 24 for the Venezuelans. Back to Romero, top of it goes to Aliano Barrios. Back out to Romero for three, and he will fill it up.
Well, one thing they didn't show in the first game was the consistent ability to knock down that three-point shot. They only hit 5 of them in that whole game. We'll see whether they can improve upon that this game.
Pero Cameron into Mika Vacona, nice play. Oh, it won't go in for him, but he will be fouled. And that's another nice pass from PC.
Good execution there, drawing the defense out, able to dump it into Vacona. He would have been disappointed he wasn't able to convert that.
Hermain Salcedo into the game for Venezuela. As Alejandro Barrios will take a seat, Mika at the line. First one is money. And the second one drops as well for Mika. Grievous Vasquez now with the ball. Point guard duties for Venezuela. Lindsey Tate right on him. Inside it goes to Hector Romero. Back to Vasquez underneath. Back to Romero. Across to Salcedo. He goes baseline on Casey Frank. Pops it back out. Around it goes. And that's going to be short for Jose Vargas. And Bayona and Craig Penny go flying down into the corner. And it will be Tall Blacks basketball.
Good hustle by both players. Bayona had him a bit in the arm lock there. He seemed trying to take him down. Tall Blacks come away with it.
Mika Vacona now finds Casey Frank. Kirk Penny, top of the key, Lindsey Tate, 17 on the shot clock. Casey Frank with it now. Salcedo on him, Casey drives, loses the ball. Lindsey Tate has it, 8 on the shot clock. He'll drive in the paint, and he will draw a foul from one of the Venezuelans. And already Grievous Vasquez is starting to talk to the referees.
Okay, yeah, but you jumped in, okay?
See that little hesitation move, saying the contact occurred right there as Tate took it to the basket.
Lindsey Tate at the line shooting 2. First one's good.
One of the key focuses for Venezuela, putting pressure on Kirk Penny after his big game. They talked about him and the need to get out and defend him, especially at that three-point line.
And wouldn't that be great news for Phil Jones?
Well, I'm sure they'll be paying attention to him as well. They can't allow New Zealand to get the open looks that they did last game.
Hector Romero will find Jose Vargas. Salcedo now for a 3. That's off the mark. Batted back up by Hector Romero. And there's one of their first offensive rebounds, I think, in the series for Venezuela. Salcedo inside to Romero. Looking for help. He's going to find Vasquez. He's going to drive up high off the glass. No good. Bayona's there. PC's there. Mika Vacona comes away with it. Mika on the run for the Tall Blacks. Slow things up. Looking for help. Finds PC. PC's going to drive. Drops it off for Mika, and that is off the front of the rim. Herbert Bayona with the rebound. Away comes Vasquez. He'll find Salcedo. They'll slow things down. Grievous Vasquez. Hermain Salcedo on the wing. Hector Romero. Vasquez running a bit of a triangle on that side. Jose Vargas, 4 on the shot clock. It goes off one of the Venezuelans, and it will be Tall Blacks basketball.
You see the Tall Blacks doing a good job of switching those screens, not allowing that penetration off the dribble. That time the penetrating pass just too low for Romero to handle off his leg.
Mika Vacona, top of the key. Kirk Penny finds PC, who finds Lindsey Tate for 3. That's off the mark, but who's there? Mika Vacona. He will be fouled from behind and absolutely hacked by Hermain Salcedo.
8. Oh, sorry, 8. Push. 2.
And here you have it. I don't think anybody's going to let anybody have an easy basket today. Not after last game.
We'll see the screen, a little bump there by Pero Cameron. It's one of the things that we saw in that first game. There weren't really any calls on those screens. You're allowed for that little extra movement, a little extra shoulder, the little hip. To get rid of that defensive player.
I love it. Second one goes down for Mika. And away comes the Venezuelans now. Grievous Vasquez. Romain Salcedo, Jose Vargas. Vasquez, Romero. Romero working down on Vacona. And he will draw a foul and one. Nice shot from Hector Romero.
That was just pure muscle there. He just battled against Vacona, backing him down. Gets inside, takes the contact on the arm, powers it through, able to knock it down.
Showing real good balance is one Hector Romero. And he's at the line for the chance to convert the three-point play.
Well, that first game, he was very active offensively, but only was able to convert 1 out of 6 from the field. All his points, 10 out of the 12, came from that free throw line.
Lindsey Tate brings it over half court for the Tall Blacks. Grievous Vasquez on him. Kirk Penny now. Top of the key, finds Lindsey. Lindsey head fake. Lindsey goes into the blender. Back out to Casey Frank for three. That is off the mark. Hector Romero will scoop up that rebound. And away come the Venezuelans now. Grievous Vasquez will slow things down with 16 seconds on the shot clock for the Venezuelans. 11-6 is the score. Going the Tall Blacks away with 5:09 left to go here in the first. Underneath, Lindsey Tate will foul Grievous Vasquez.
Nice pass there from Salcedo, dribbling the ball across the top. Hit Vasquez with a nice pass underneath, off of a good cut.
And in comes Paulie Henare for Lindsey Tate.
There wasn't enough of that off-the-ball movement from the Venezuelans in that first game. Already we've seen a lot much more activity from them on the offensive end.
First one is good for Grievous Vasquez. And he'll get the double. Paulie Henare now, point guard for the Tall Blacks. Finds PC. Looking for a bit of help. We'll get it back to Paulie now. Plenty of movement off the ball down low between Casey Frank and Herbert Bayona. Kurt Penny rolls around the outside. It will be stolen by Grievous Vasquez behind the back to Jose Vargas, and that's pretty good basketball by the Venezuelans, Kenny.
Yeah, good recognition on that pass that Casey Frank was challenging for the block. Nice job dumping it off.
Mika Vacona with Romain Salcedo on him. Now PC. And Big Herbert Bayona will get a hand on it. It will remain Tall Blacks ball with 13 seconds left to go on the shot clock.
See there, just a little too casual with the ball. And nice dump off there for the easy two.
Paulie Henare to inbound. We'll find Kirk Penny in the corner who rolls it around. Top of the key now, Paulie Henare. Looking for penetration in the corner to Mika. Nice pass to Casey Frank. Oh, he'll be stripped by Romero, and down he will come for the Venezuelans. David Kubian now into the game. Kubian and Henare, that is a great matchup. Oh, and Romero just barrels over Casey Frank. Shot gets his own rebound, and one! And Casey Frank does not like that at all, Kenny.
Well, I think he took a chance trying to draw that offensive foul. Refs aren't going to call it. We'll see him backing in here. Contact, but in the context of this game, not enough to call that offensive foul.
Phil Jones will be coming into the game now for Mika Vacona. Good minutes from Mika. Always scrambling, always in the right place at the right time is Mika. Hector Romero at the line to convert the three-point play here. And he will do so. All of a sudden, the Tall Blacks are down by 2 points with 4:11 left to go here in the first. Much more poised play by the Venezuelans.
Well, we talked about it earlier at the top of the show about the need for adjustments. And already we've seen the Venezuelans adjust their intensity on offense and defense and do a much better job. That time we see Casey Frank able to gather in that offensive rebound. Off the Perro Cameron missed.
David Kubian will find Vargas. Jose Vargas will put it up. No go. Cameron with the rebound. He'll shuffle it off to Kirk Penny. Here come the Tall Blacks now. He will drive. Kirk Penny off the glass. That's 2. Beautiful play. A little show and go from Kirk Penny.
Yeah, he realized he had a mismatch against a much bigger Bayona. Lulled him to sleep with the dribble, able to take him to the basket.
Vargas finds Salcedo. Remains Salcedo. Back to Bayona, wasn't expecting it. He'll get the ball back. Remains Salcedo looking for help. Finds David Kubion. Kubion back to Bayona. 2 on the shot clock. Something's gonna happen. It's gone off. That's it. 24-second violation. They don't say it's so, and they will still continue to play underneath.
Well, that's the thing. You've got to play to the ref's whistle. Until they blow the whistle, you've got to continue playing. It was close on that. The shot clock showed 0-0, but the buzzer of the clock hadn't gone off.
It certainly did. And well, if the buzzer's not going to go off, you got 3 officials out there who should be watching the clock. That was definitely a 24-second violation. Good defense again by the Tall Blacks. Polianare finds Kirk Penny. Kirk Penny for 3. Off the mark. And we've got a clear-out foul, I believe, on Tony Rampton.
I think Bayona picked this one up.
Did he?
They're both battling there. Bayona had his arm over, trying to hold Rampton down.
Well, he'll take a seat, and big Miguel Miaga will come into the game, number 4 for Venezuela. And he's a big man, Kenny, but he's shown some range from outside. He's a 3-point shooter, isn't he?
Yeah, in that first game, he was certainly comfortable stepping out to that 3-point line and putting it up.
Polianare to inbounds, gonna find Kirk Penny, and we have a whistle on the play. I believe it's gonna be on Pero. Possession will be changed, Venezuela's ball. David Kubion, very quick, electric point guard for Venezuela. Top of the key, he's gonna launch it, and he will fill it up.
Yeah, tonight much more comfortable as the whole Venezuelan team from the 3-point line. Looking to put it up when they can.
I think the Venezuelans came tonight to play basketball, and they're doing well right now. Foul off the ball, I do believe, on Miguel Mariaga. Holding off the ball. But I think if anything was to spill over after last game, it would have already done so. So that's good to know. We got a basketball game on our hands instead.
Well, it is, as long as the officials are consistent through this game. They've already set the tone that they aren't going to allow those extra grabs and holds off the ball. And again, it minimizes that aggression, and certainly some of those confrontations that occurred once the fouls were called, getting everybody involved. It looks like we'll be in for a good game of basketball rather than some of the wrestling we saw.
Renton will nail the first. Second one here, it is good. Tall Blacks up by 1. David Kubion finds Grievous Vasquez. Romero setting a high screen. Vasquez will spin, looking for help. Back to Kubion. Mariaga. Salcedo. Vasquez. Back into Salcedo. 5 on the shot clock now. But in a block down low by PC.
Good job by Pero Cameron coming over to help out Polianare, who got switched on to the bigger player.
3 seconds on the shot clock now. Vasquez puts it up. That is off. And they will get another offensive rebound. Will Venezuelans. David Kubion will start the proceedings over now. Grievous Vasquez. Hector Romero. Inside to Salcedo. Mismatch. Just battles over Polianare. There's no call. Mariaga off the glass. No good. In and out. And it will be Tall Blacks ball as the Venezuelans are just pounding the boards early here, Kenny.
Well, they're certainly going inside hard. Good chance to see there. Now that's an offensive foul to me. That was just lowering the shoulder, going right through the defender. And there the foul is as Phil Jones is trying to box out.
Well, it's fantastic news for Wellington. This is the first time basketball has ever sold out at the TSB Bank Arena. Good on you, Wellington. Fantastic support down here.
-2. Here we go.
Phil Jones at the line, shooting 2.
Daryl Cartwright's checked into the game to replace Pero Cameron. And Abusinet had a few words for Pero as he came off the court, I imagine, about the rebounding down at that end.
Watch that line, 4. You're in.
Tall Blacks were able to control the boards in that first game. Haven't been able to be as dominant this game.
David Cubion now barking out directions, Venezuelan style. Here they come again. Much more competitive this game thus far. Hector Romero with it. Round it goes, Hector Romero. Out, Mariaga, off the glass, yes.
Nice up fake there by Romero, getting Daryl Cartwright into the air, able to draw, give that little dish off for the easy 2 points.
Henare finds Rampton. Rampton, Cartwright, Kirk Penny. Kirk Penny goes baseline, spins. He is hassled, double team right away off the glass, and he'll put it in anyway! Kirk Penny's playing fantastic basketball! Just lulling the defense to sleep on that occasion. Hector Romero, David Cubion, he's open, he loves to shoot it. Nice pass to Romero, no good. Mariaga's there again, down low for the Venezuelans. Paul Henare back the other way in a hurry, through the lane. He'll put it up, and that's going to be off, but there will be a foul on the play. Paul Henare going to the line, shooting 2.
Nice job getting Cubion off the floor with that little up fake of his, able to draw the contact. But certainly a concern for Nene Vucinic would be the lack of or defensive boxing out. Venezuela attacking the boards hard, both offensively, getting shots up. But if they're missing, other guys are crashing the boards, getting those loose balls, putting them in.
First offering is off for Paulie. Second one on the way. Just 1 point in it.
Vucinic going with 2 point guards at the moment, with Lindsey Tate checking in for Kirk Penny. We saw him do that, run that lineup in the first game. Not afraid to go with the 2 smaller players. Wanting, I imagine, to get the running game going. We haven't seen any fast break opportunities really from the break, or from the Tall Blacks rather.
All right, Paul Henare will miss the second. Kevin Palacios, number 6, wearing number 6 now with that rebound. Mariaga, David Cubion, nope, Mariaga still has it. He will find Hector Romero, he will put it up, that's well short. And it will be Tall Blacks basketball off one David Cubion. 15.8 seconds left to go here in the first. Tall Blacks will have last shot opportunity of the first quarter. Paul Henare on the wing, penetrates, goes all alone, and it goes in! What a beautiful play by Paulie. Cubion back the other way, off the glass. And there you have it, after the first quarter. Tall Blacks 23, Venezuela nipping at their heels at 20. Well, here's some fantastic plays. Look at this for Paulie Henare. Just beautiful balance. Using his strength,
Yeah, nice finish there. If he had gone to the left hand, it probably would have been blocked, but he's able to come back to that right, avoid the block attempt, finger roll it in for a nice 2 to finish that first quarter.
You'll get a chance to have time for a shoot-off. We don't have a possession. Tall Blacks jersey. We're going to be a little bit more feisty on those defensive box outs. Hey, offensively, we're looking really slow. And if you don't have set up quicker, play with it. Just keep rolling those balls. When things get tough, just get a great throw here in Wellington. And the basketball. Remember, if you've got a winner written on your ball, we want you to hold on to it. Come and see us at half-time. Big half-time. Come down here and take part in a shoot-off for a Tall Blacks signed jersey and win yourself.
Well, there's PC nailing a 3. Lindsey Tate, mid-range jumper, that's going to go. And well, the shooting has been fantastic thus far. Nice pass there from Vasquez to Jose Vargas. And the Venezuelans have calmed down, and they are playing constructive basketball at the moment. And that is what the Tall Blacks want, really. They want a good competition before they head to China.
Yeah, it's been much better basketball. The Tall Blacks shooting the ball over 50% for that first quarter. Venezuela only shooting 32%, but they've been able to get to the offensive boards. They've got over 6 offensive boards, able to score probably 5 of those. So they've done a good job, and Nana Vucinic is talking to his group about getting on the defensive boards. They've got to box out.
And I'll tell you, the Tall Blacks have a mammoth task in front of them. They leave on Thursday for China. Then they go to Latvia, Croatia. I believe they've got 6 games in 7 days. So they've got a lot of basketball in front of them before the big series against the Boomers in August. David Kubian will start the second quarter for the Venezuelans. Round it goes to Grievous Vasquez. Shot by Palacios, mid-range jumper, and that's money for him. Lindsay Tate now back the other way for the Tall Blacks. Phil Jones, Palacios tripping through his defense. Nice pass to Rampton, swatted away by Hector Romero. Here comes Vasquez now for the Venezuelans. Nice pass to Mariaga, but he will be hacked. Oh, check it, travel by Mariaga.
You were right, he was hacked.
He was hacked by DC,
but he had taken 3 steps before he got hacked, so Tall Blacks get the ball back.
All right, back the other way now. Paulie Henare, top of the key, finds a rolling Lindsay Tate into the blender. Back out to Paulie. 13 on the shot clock for the Tall Blacks. Set play coming up. Paulie backs down Kubian. Continues to do so, spins. In and out it goes. Hector Romero with another rebound for the Venezuelans. He'll get it up to Grievous Vasquez quickly. Grievous Vasquez, one of the few players of the Venezuelan team. Nice block inside by Daryl Cartwright, but he will be called with a foul.
0, push, 2.
Let's have a look at this, Kenny. See how much ball DC got. Oh, that looked pretty good to me.
Well, I thought he got all ball. They may have called his other hand on the body, but that looked all ball from this angle, certainly from that replay. Daryl Cartwright had a good first-up game for the Tall Blacks up in Napier. Did a good job, shot the ball pretty well. Did a good job defensively.
Miguel Mariaga misses the first, and if I was a betting man, Kenny, I think he's going to miss the second one too. Yep.
Oh.
Fair enough. And I will tell you the lottery numbers later. All right, back the other way now.
You and I are going to the TAB after this.
That's right. Lindsay Tate will find Paulie Henare, rolls around the outside of the perimeter. Back to Daryl Cartwright, thought about the 3, gets it over to Phil Jones in the corner. Phil puts it up for 3. That's off the mark. Hector Romero will find another rebound for Venezuela, and he'll bring it all the way back. David Kubian, Grievous Vasquez, and Grievous Vasquez will fill it up from 3-point land. And the Tall Blacks have found themselves in a game here. Lindsay Tate, Phil Jones, Kevin Palacios on him. Phil Jones, you can tell he's just faster than Kevin, but they'll double team him. Somehow it'll end up in Lindsay Tate's hands. Nice shuffle pass back to Phil Jones. Nice pass inside underneath. Shot no good. And it will go the way of the Venezuelans. Good ball movement though by the Tall Blacks.
Yeah, the ball movement was there, but it really wasn't out of their offense. They don't look as fluid as they did on Friday night. And I'm sure a lot of that credit has to go to Venezuela. They've understood what Tall Blacks are trying to do.
David Kubian with a nice crossover dribble, throws it away. Lindsay Tate with it now. He's going to shuffle it off for Repton. Repton will get 2 points. And that is just good basketball by the Tall Blacks. Their defense again standing strong. David Kubian finds Grievous Vasquez. Hector Romero thought about the 3. DC's all over him like a cheap suit. David Kubian in the corner. Palacios, 6 on the shot clock for Venezuela. Kevin Palacios loses the handle. Kubian will get it. Find Hector Romero, puts it up for mid-range jumper. That's not going to go. Phil Jones back the other way, coast to coast, and he will be fouled. And geez, on that last defensive stanza for the Tall Blacks,
6.
The 24-second clock was very close to running out again. Here's Phil Jones just blowing by Kevin Palacios.
They did a nice job there. There's no defensive help coming over. And Phil Jones identified that, attacked the basket hard to get himself to the line. Down at the other end, that was one of those Venezuelan possessions where nothing really happened. There wasn't a lot of movement. Palacio, as you said, just holding the ball out there, dribbling, not getting anything productive going to the basket, and they, as a result, ended up with a forced shot as the 24-second clock was winding down.
Now, Kenny, when does it happen? Phil Jones obviously faster on his feet than Kevin Palacios. How many times back and forth on the court does it sink in your brain, I can take this guy, I'm faster than him, I can penetrate, I can go right by him?
Well, the thing that goes through your mind is it within the offense? And that's the big thing that they're looking for at the moment, is trying to get that offensive continuity and not just one player identifying that he has a weaker defender, if that's the case, and going at him, but it's doing it within the context of the offense. It's certainly in a fast break situation or where you're pushing the ball like Phil was there, you attack when you can.
Grievous Vasquez with it now for Venezuela. Jose Vargas, Kevin Palacios. Mariaga with it now. DC on him. And look at that triple D by the Tall Blacks. There'll be a foul on the play. But man, he had no place to go, Kenny.
Well, he didn't, but as is always tempting as a player, if somebody reached in trying to get a hand on the ball, they had him pretty well sealed there. He was triple teamed down there. He wasn't looking to pass it off. But the foul was called, so he goes to the line for 2 free throws.
And geez, as I look around, a lot of the Venezuelan players are breathing through their mouth. And I look at the Tall Blacks, who just had a gruesome, grueling 3-week camp, and they're all still breathing through their noses, not puffed at all.
Yeah, it's interesting talking to him about that and how brutal it was, but how good it was as well. The physical training was all specific to what they needed. And they all, as much as you detest it as a player at the time, they realized that there's going to be benefit from it later on. And all we're pretty pleased that they came through it.
Mika Makona gets the ball stolen by Kevin Palacios. He's going to go up strong himself, and one! And all of a sudden, the Venezuelans are starting to play with a little swagger here.
And they extend that defensive pressure there, and I don't think Mika was waiting or expecting that pass back. Palacios able to get it, penetrate and get that foul on Tate as well.
They did that the first game as well, didn't they? Even in the first, second quarter, full court pressure. Mixing up the defense is Venezuela, who are now up by 3. Lindsey Tate finds Darryl Cartwright. Mika Makona. Mika looking for help. Phil Jones will help him out. 8 on the shot clock. Inside it goes to Mika. Nice pass and one for Mika Makona! And that's just good ball movement, waiting for the man to be open.
Yeah, you're right. Phil Jones waiting for Makona to cut over that screen down low. Makona going up strong with the left hand, able to draw that contact. But it's interesting seeing the defensive approach from Venezuela this game. They talked to us at halftime, talked to Steven at halftime about wanting to use their quickness, getting out on shooters. They felt that was an advantage they had, was using that quickness. Well, they're certainly really putting ball pressure on everyone that's extended outside that three-point line, not allowing the open looks that we saw in that first game.
Mika Makona will nail that free throw. It is now all knotted up. 30 apiece with 6:22 left to go till halftime. Jose Vargas with the ball for Venezuela. To Grievous Vasquez. That's off the mark. Who's got it? Tony Rampton scoops up the bound. Mika Makona will emerge with it. He's on the run. He'll fight PC in the corner. PC's going to penetrate. Kick it out to Rampton. He'll put up the 3 because he can, and he will nail it. Tony Rampton, the big man, showing his range from outside.
Tony Rampton with 3.
You don't normally see Tony Rampton stepping out shooting threes, but as a team, everyone's shooting a lot of three-point shots. And Vucinic knows that they aren't going to be people inside. They're going to have to knock down threes, and that's everybody. Oh, nice dump-off pass there.
Herbert Bayona underneath, gets his own rebound. Oh, check that. Jesus Urbina. And that's just good work from the George Mason University basketball player, one Jesus Urbina.
Now the talking starts again.
Well,
Tony Rampton talking to Vasquez, who was involved with a lot of the stuff yesterday, or Friday rather.
And some bodies flying down low. And well, they've played so well thus far. Maybe the Tall Blacks want to get inside their head. Hector Romero with it. Urbina. He'll spin. Jesus Urbina off the glass. Will draw a foul.
14, block, 2.
A nice spin move here by Urbina, going hard. Mick Vacona basically under the basket, didn't have good position on that help side, so he'll check out and Casey Frank replaces him. Earlier we saw a small lineup, now we got Frank, Cameron, and Rampton in there. It's the front line. So you certainly hope they'd be able to control the rebounds.
Well, the Tall Blacks up by just 3 here. Jesus Urbina shooting the first and nailing it. One of about 4 Venezuelan basketball players that play basketball at American universities, all Division I. So these guys have some game, and they're showing it now.
Well, the key thing out of that play was Mick Vacona picking up his 4th personal foul. You're only allowed 5, so he's going to be sitting down the rest of this half, especially probably into some of the second half. And that's without Dylan Boucher in. They're not able to bring another small forward in, so they go pretty big now.
Well, there's one guy on that bench I'd love to see, Kenny.
I don't know whether Craig Bradshaw is going to get any time tonight. Again, the offenses that the Tall Blacks are running are fairly, you've got to spend some time knowing where the execution, where the reads are.
Lindsey Tate to Rampton, Casey Frank underneath, reverse lay-in, it's good. Grivas Vasquez will come back the other way now for the Venezuelans. Lindsey Tate playing right in his back pocket. Hector Romero at the top of the key. Casey Frank on him. Jose Vargas will lose the ball. Tall Blacks ball.
That's a nice call, Dan.
Did you like that?
I did. Stood up, helped the officials there. You might get a whistle after this as well. A little golden whistle for you.
And wouldn't I love it? Very entertaining match thus far. This sold-out capacity crowd's just loving it. And wouldn't they love to see their Wellington raised, born, big unit, Craig Bradshaw, but like you said, he just got off the plane, probably doesn't know a lot of the defenses and offenses, but man, I'd love to see him get a run, as I'm sure everybody in the stadium would.
Well, he's got a lot of work cut out for him to learn some of these plays. The Tall Black playbook consists of about 60 to 70 plays.
Whoa!
Right now, in those 3 weeks, from what I understand, they've implemented about 50 of them. So it's not something they're going to pick up in one day or in a couple hours. And Bradshaw's got a lot of work ahead of him, and certainly Dan Avucinis does as well, to get him incorporated into this team that has been together for a few weeks now.
Well, it's good to have the basketball flowing here, but with 6 games in 7 days, you just got to hope that the guys come back from Europe unadulterated, undaunted, uninjured. As we look at the Boomer squad, they are just riddled with injuries, and now we get Dylan Boucher down. He's going to miss the rest of this series. Michael Fitchett now into the game for the Tall Blacks. PC with the rock. Finds Lindsey Tate. Kurt Penny open, puts up the 3. Yes!
And a nice screen down there from Harold Cameron, freeing up Penny coming off that good executed play out of the timeout.
Hector Romero, top of the key. Urbina, Vasquez. Vasquez almost runs into PC, back to Urbina. That shot is short. Casey Frank battling for the bound. Holy moly, Hector Romero puts it in and one! And that was just a play of strength from that Venezuelan. Wow!
That was impressive. Get a chance to see it. He battled Casey Frank over the top there. He takes him and Kirk Penny to the basket. Able to get it up and in.
He is impressing me tonight, Kenny, is one Hector Romero.
Yeah, he's been much more active on the offensive end this time than he was on Friday. Not only got to the line, but he's been able to knock some shots down as well.
And we got a whistle on the plate. As you can see, it looks like the Venezuelans going to be sticking to that full court pressure. David Kubion trying to hunt down Michael Fitchett at the moment. Casey Frank with it. Plenty of movement off the ball. Kirk Penny's open for three. PC has it now. Back to Kirk Penny. Lindsey Tate on the other side. Head fake. Lindsey Tate penetrates. Lindsey Tate up off the glass. Draws a foul underneath. But good penetration by Lindsey Tate.
And Lindsey Tate head fake to get him free. You see it here. Got him. Nice penetration. Want him to try to finish that, though. He got to the basket well. Just needs to finish.
Lindsey at the line. The first one is good. Just a 4-point buffer in the shadows of halftime now. Second one is short. Jose Vargas with that rebound. He'll kick it up to David Kubion. And here come the Venezuelans. Urbina. Vargas. Back to Vasquez. Vasquez for three. That's off. Who's there? Hector Romero. And it looks like he stepped out of bounds. Tall Blacks basketball.
And he's working hard there. Again, battling hard with Casey Frank. Got the offensive board, but stepped out of bounds.
Michael Fitchett getting another run for the Tall Blacks here. Love to see it. Casey Frank was not expecting that. Romero picks it off. Kubion to Romero for the big step down. It will go in, but all of a sudden a little razzle-dazzle from these Venezuelans. Fitchett finds Casey Frank this time. Nice pass inside to Kirk Penny off the glass. Somehow it doesn't go in. Jose Vargas with the rebound. He'll shuffle it off to Vasquez. In the corner it goes to Hector Romero, the man of the moment for Venezuela. Tipped away by Kirk Penny. 2-on-1, up to Michael Fitchett. Back to Casey Frank. And he is hammered by Jose Vargas. Casey Frank had bad intentions when he had the ball that time, Kenny.
Yeah, he was going hard to the basket there. And again, no easy shots in this one.
Well, all the Venezuela players, they're all up and they're definitely into this game. Here's the alley-oop pass. Beautiful pass by David Kubion. And Hector Romero is just doing it all right now for the Venezuelans. Jesus Urbina is also getting some positive minutes.
Right now, we'll see what adjustments the Tall Blacks make. Whether they work to double team him, Romero rather, anytime he gets the ball down there. The key is the weak side and making sure that the other players are covered.
And well, Nestor Salazar tonight looks pretty calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah, much less animated than we saw him on Friday night. More focused maybe on the job at hand, probably a little bit more comfortable now in the country a few days. Haven't played the Tall Blacks once, knowing what to expect. And his team's doing a pretty good job, only down 2 so far.
That is all true, Kenny, but it's much more fun when he's flipping out.
He is a character to watch.
He certainly is. I like him. And as his team is only down by 2 points now, they got to believe that they've got a chance to topple the Tall Blacks.
This is the kind of game that I'm sure both coaches wanted. And Vucinic said in that interview he wanted a close game. He's got to get his players in that type of situation. They've got to learn from this.
Casey Frank at the line. First one is good. Second one is money as well for Casey. extending the lead now, 41-37. David Cubion brings it up for the Venezuelans. Around the perimeter he goes. Plenty of movement here offensively for the Venezuelans. Hector Romero with it. Casey Frank guarding him. Double team now by Pero Cameron. Back out to Grievous Vasquez. He'll go to penetrate. Spin, put up a shot. That's going to be short. Casey Frank shuffles it off to Phil Jones. Phil Jones will find Kurt Penny. He'll find Mike Fitchett. And Mike Fitchett will slow things down and shuffle it off to PC. Nice pass to Kurt Penny from PC. And that's beautiful hoops.
That's a great cut by Penny coming off the screen from the wing. Just a great pass by Pero Cameron to find him.
David Cubion back the other way on the wing, goes to penetrate. Looking for help. One Hector Romero was zigging, and Cubion's pass was zagging, so it will be Tall Black's ball. A few turnovers now starting to creep up on the Venezuelans. Phil Jones now playing the point. Pero Cameron shuffles it back off to Phil. He'll stop in the corner to Kurt Penny. Pero Cameron back to Kurt. Grievous Vasquez gets a hand in there. 7 on the shot clock now for Kurt. He's got to make something happen. He is hassled by Grievous Vasquez. It will remain Tall Black's ball, but we've got 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
And Vucinic wants to get a set play out of this. Again, these are times you can work on these. You know you're building for bigger and better things. Take the opportunity for this diagram of play, the quick hit play. Get yourself a good look. You remember that the look that Venezuela had in game 1 at half court.
Herbert Bayona from
right.
That was unbelievable. I mean, he didn't mean to do that, and he probably couldn't try to do that again, but wow, what a shot. Nothing but net. Out of bounds at half court.
Mike, like this, on this angle, and pop out there at the same time. Casey, up the big screen, right here from Zero. Right, then pop, and then go for the yellow. Throw that yellow.
Well, maybe
so
Coach Vucinic.
Okay, you might have to get the ball. See, like a big screen? Not big, like a big screen. Big screen, Vero, your man will have to help.
Could be setting up one of those plays that I saw you set up throughout the season. A big alley-oop to Casey Frank.
Well, they may be looking over the top or getting a shooter coming off of the screen.
Kurt Penny, Michael Fitchett, PC, Casey Frank, Phil Jones out there at the moment for the Tall Blacks. Phil Jones to inbound. 2 seconds left on the shot clock. This should be interesting. PC's got it. PC puts it up for 3. That's off the mark. Vasquez comes down with it. And he is flying. He'll find Vargas. Jose Vargas back to Vasquez. Inside it goes. PC get a hand in there. Urbina gets it back to Vasquez. Hector Romero. David Cubion slows it down with 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Vasquez. Hector Romero for 3. That is off the mark. Kurt Penny comes down with that bound. And a timely one indeed. He is hassled. Double team now. And will throw it out of bounds as the Venezuela's defense is a lot scrappier than the first game. And they're just getting in the way of the Tall Blacks at the moment.
Now Venezuela wanted to call a timeout and make sure they get what they want in this last minute. We've seen the Tall Blacks struggle a couple times when it hasn't been in the point guard's hands against that full court pressure. And that time, Kurt Penny thought Pero Cameron was going to be in a spot he wasn't, resulting in the turnover.
Vargas. Si te niegan ahí, este pase, Héctor va a venir de aquí. ¿Ok? Si te niegan este pase, trabaja por aquí. Me voy y él viene de... él pica, ¿okay? Entonces, desde el lado contrario, Jesús, acuérdate que tú vas a tener a Gravy por aquí. Ese Gravy va a ser un vapi y se va a venir completo. Ok, vamos a anotar ese canasto y nos quedamos hombres. Nos quedamos en hombres.
Well, Kenny, I know your Spanish isn't up to scratch, as mine is not, but...
I heard at the very beginning, Trace, and I do know that that's number 3. I'm going to say they're calling the number 3 play. But what the big diagram is looking for basically a curl cut off of a screen on the weak side, so we'll see. Right now, Vasquez coming around.
Vargas finds Hector Romero. Hector Romero back out. Around it goes to David Cubion. Cubion. Slow things down. Grievous Vasquez now. Once again, 9 seconds on the shot clock for Venezuela. On the outside wing. He'll put it up from well beyond the arc, and that's short. Hector Romero with another offensive rebound for Venezuela, and they're getting a heck more this game than they did the first. Cubion to Vargas. Urbina, top of the key. Cubion. Hector Romero, PC's on him. Vargas, Vasquez. Vasquez drives, dumps it inside to Hector Romero for 2. Nice dish.
It was a nice dish. It was a nice roll by Romero after setting that screen, getting the defender on his back, rolling hard, and was rewarded for it.
8 seconds left till halftime. Phil Jones has it. Kirk Petty now on the wing, puts it up for 3. Bang! Kirk Petty is just automatic from beyond the arc, and that will end the first half of play. Tall Blacks 46, Venezuela Los Tintos 39.
For game 2 of the Tall Blake Venezuela series, 46-39 the TB's lead. We just go to the rebound because it's been one of the key areas where Venezuela have got their game together offensively. They lead the Tall Blacks 9-2 defensively. It's pretty much an even game, but the points on the board is probably where it all stacks up. But the rebounding area is one area that the Venezuelans have picked it up. Well, joining me, we are lucky to have wounded Tall Blake Dylan Boucher. Dylan, first of all, let's just check things out. How's the foot? How's it coming on? Am I right? Am I right?
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be right for a long time, but you know, it's coming along. I mean, I've got physio working with me 24 hours a day pretty much, so we're hoping things are going to be going well and I'll be ready to go to China with the team.
Well, that's encouraging because initially on Napier it looked like China wasn't even an option.
Yeah, I've been struggling to walk for the last couple of days and I'm trying to put a bit of weight on it today, so hopefully come China we'll be ready to go.
Yeah, and I saw those needles they were putting in there. Not pretty watching that acupuncture. Venezuela, though, starting to pick up their game. We talked in the pre-game about how Venezuela would adjust. They appear to have adjusted well, and rebounding has to be the key.
Yeah, definitely the effort categories have been outstanding in this game. You know, Romero's been all over the offensive rebounds, and our guys haven't adjusted well to the physicality, and they've basically come out and taken it to the Tall Blacks, and Tall Blacks haven't responded.
They're moving the ball a lot smoother to the Venezuelans, aren't they?
They are a lot more fluent. Their offense is looking a lot more smooth, if you like to say, but overall they're just playing a lot better game.
Well, Hector Romero's banged up 16 points. He scored 12 in the whole game last on Friday night. That must be a little bit of a concern. It will be a concern, I'm sure, for Ninad.
Oh, definitely. Romero will definitely be a talking point at halftime. They'll probably look to get the ball out of his hands a bit and definitely have to start face guarding him on the box out, which means don't worry about the ball, just worry about the man.
The other thing too is that their big men probably were seemingly more effective in the first half last week, but probably not so effective inside tonight.
No, that's right. I mean, they really went at the Tall Blacks tonight and inside. Last night, or the last 2 nights ago, they were at them, and tonight they're just not responding well. Our defence is not where it needs to be. We talked about it yesterday and today about their defence inside, and we're just not doing it. So second half, I'm sure Nenad's tearing them up in there now and telling them they need to pull their finger.
Well, yeah, simply as that. Let's have a look at the highlights from the Tall Blacks, because started out well on the likes of Pero. Probably looking for Perry Weevo's spot, which he missed out on the World Cup. Disappointing for Wellington fans here. Pero, though, leading the way with some bench time. And just when you get a situation like this, how do you adjust quickly when someone else is in your face?
Yeah, I mean, Pero's an outstanding player, and he's going to make players around him look better. And you see Kirk Penny taking an easy drive to the basket, but if you look a lot of the times where guys score, it's because Pero's making him look like a better player. And he's our natural-born leader, as Romero is for Venezuela.
All right, well, we'll have a look at the numbers soon. Mika Vakona, though, 4 fouls early in the piece. We'll probably sit down for some part of this third quarter as well. Somewhat of a concern having him on 4 so early?
I think it's a huge concern, yeah. Mika's an energy player, and when he brings his energy out there, the players play well around him. And I think we need him out on the floor. He needs to match Romero's energy out there.
Well, he's one of our leading rebounders out there, isn't he? So maybe that's the presence we're seeing in their offensive rebounding.
Definitely. We're going to miss Mika out there on the boards. I think you'll see him come out early in the game and do what he does, but after that, you might see him sitting down for long periods.
So willing to sacrifice him?
You sort of have to play the ball game as it comes. You know, we're probably going to tell him keep his hands out, just do what he does.
All right, well, there you have him. Mika Vakona, 8 points, 1 offensive rebound and 2 defensive rebounds. Those 2 defensive rebounds would have shut down the offensive rebounds of the Venezuelans at halftime, who trailed 46-39. The Tall Blacks in charge. Important, though, to just try and get the whole system back into gear and just do what you did on Friday.
Yeah, pretty much. There's no need to change anything that we're doing. We just need to make sure it's a lot smoother than what's happening out there. Right now, they're a little bit slow. We need to get this crowd behind us, get into it, and get the game going.
You doing it tough on the sideline?
Oh, I'm struggling. Even just sitting on the sideline trying to yell out plays to the guys, and yeah, it's not good. I'm not a good watcher.
Go get some more acupuncture. All right, Dylan Boucher, our special guest at halftime in Game 2, Game 3 on Tuesday, live on Sky Sport right now. 46-39, the Tall Blacks in charge. More on the other side.